There was a full moon there. I turned all the lights off and the house was just bright with light. My dog was sitting there just listening, and I know it's a good song when my dog doesn't leave because she doesn't like the sound of a piano. So I was like, across the night, across the moon, it stole my slumber. Across the night, I fell in love with people sleeping. I can't play that bit, Paul can.
That sort of, you know, sort of Beatle-y kind of thing, but once again, it's like no two phrases are the same. There's sometimes it's got this extra bit, sometimes it does two little chords extra, which, you know, when you're learning is why, but then lyrically it all ties it together, which I don't remember the lyrics, but it's, yeah, I think it was just wanted this complete gear change in the middle of the song and take it somewhere else from where it had been, which had been somewhere quite, you know, Hollywoody anyway. It's a big song.
It's actually quite weird hearing it like this.
Yeah, it is.
I'm hearing all the lines in my head. Just,
Yeah. Definitely girly harmonies. Got a lot tougher since then.
I think it was a conscious decision to get out of a dark hole, and a way of doing that was by not singing about it. You know, it was to, you know, I think Daniel's head was, you know, getting into a nicer place, and he wanted to express that, like, lyrically and musically.
I like Across the Night because I think it's it alludes to complexity that doesn't exist. That's hard to do. It's hard to write a simple song that sounds complex, just as it's hard to write a complex song that sounds simple.
Daniel was still recovering from his long period of use of antidepressants, and his mind wasn't necessarily as all rainbows and bubbles that some of the songs on the album would suggest.
I wanted to feel something again, and the weird thing is when you come off that stuff, everything becomes really intense. Like the littlest, the smallest amount of good news can be exhilarating, and, you know, someone could say you got a hole in your tyre, and you're like, oh, fuck, a hole in my tyre, who did it?
He didn't really go out very much at that point as well, and it was like, you know, well, fuck it, dude, I'm coming to get you. So, like, I, you know, drove to Newcastle and, you know, got him and took him to my place and you know, cooked and we ate, and it was all in the middle of that period.
I think Diorama was just a result of experiencing feelings and emotions again, instead of just being closed off to the world.
You know, and music is the fucking healer. It is, you know, it's got me out of many a dark time, and it's nice to be able to share that with somebody else.
Like the sun through the trees on a clouded day.
And in comes Captain Guitar Head.
Staring high, but a mouse in the sun like a life without love. And I've waited for you, so keep holding on without you. Without you.
And that whammy's in here too. It's like a reoccurring theme.
Telephone, socialist getting here.
I love that sound, eh? Yeah, it's nice.
But I remember we waited days to get that pedal.
Yeah, we did, eh? We knew we had needed one more element.
And we all knew what the sound was in the head, in our heads.
Yeah.
But when we got it around, it's like...
Yeah,
yes.
It's a hit. Somebody get the pressing plan on the phone.
You brought to my life like a ball of staring high, but a mouse in the sun like a life without love. And
I remember this song being particularly hard to sing. It's like all over the shop. It really did my head in for ages.
Like the wind blows, holding you with us. She takes no other.
And everything's double tracked, thanks to John Lennon.
Blooming like winter.
Bloody hell. Yeah, it's lovely,
Yeah,
yeah.
it's just beautiful. Like you don't need to have it up. But it's just
It's
like,
really classic. Never liked doing that bit live. Ever.
The songs were certainly just sonically very different from demo stage right through to the finished product, but I think they evolved during that time in Newcastle particularly, and then obviously once they got them into the studio, well, that was a whole new world of sound, wasn't it, altogether? Once they got into the studio, we're working with the biggest budget they ever had.
I guess when we started, our influences were pretty limited. Like, you know, we hadn't been exposed to that much music, and I guess it was just stuff that we'd heard from our parents or from friends, and so you know we didn't have much to draw on for as far as influences go. So I guess it just as time went along and we improved as players and we discovered more music and our taste broadened, then you know, I guess that's when we all started changing and your taste change and your playing changes.
You know, almost relearning how to play the instrument because they were tunings that I'd never used before, so it's kind of just to get that real feel that, you know, you have been playing it for ages and you just feel really comfortable and you're not second guessing what you're playing, just to, I guess, to get the feel right. Otherwise, it just never sounds right.
As soon as I started seeing Ben and Chris getting excited about this music that I was so nervous about, that's when I started really getting confident in the record and looking into producers, and I wanted to get more involved in the production side of things, and spoke to Dave Bottrell because I, like, you know, Captain Beefheart, King Crimson, knew that Bottrell had worked with King Crimson and Peter Gabriel, all this stuff, and just thought, you know, without making a progressive rock record, I want to learn something from someone. This worked with Robert Fripp.
Bottrell was cool. I really liked him. I think he was on our side, you know, not the record companies, and you know, a lot of the time the producer plays that kind of middleman, and he was great. He you know, really went in to fight for us and was saying, you know, this is, you know, the reason this song has to be like this is because it's, you know, this is doing this, or whatever reason he was using. But yeah, he was fantastic. I think he was the perfect producer for that record.
I was talking to my manager saying I want really, you know, filmic, ethereal, otherworldly, eccentric, over-the-top, lush, romantic. Like, there's just a list of these things that I thought the songs needed to encapsulate.